Hey guys, we are back with the second match reaction video. I've just finished the live stream that we got. We just sort of got that back up and running again for an incredible win, a huge victory by all accords. Milan 2, Napoli 1. We went into this game with myself and Lorenzo and the boys doing lots of previews on how this game was so big from a statement perspective. And if Milan came out with a victory, what that would mean from a belief side, not just for Milan fans, but for the rest of Serie A, actually, dialing into this Milan side being a threat for the Scudetto race. So we went into it with obviously massive expectations of what could come if Milan got that win. And then equally from the performance of itself, and we'll go into that a little bit now into this video and what I think were the standout players. But it's once again very hard to kind of do that when the team effort was phenomenal from all players involved, and the fact that we played as well as we did in the first half, and the game plan looked like it was working to a T. And then to go a man down, and equally Napoli have a penalty, which is one thing we were worried about, was refereeing decisions. Which I'm not going to say was the wrong decision, but for that to happen, to go down a man and then equally have a penalty, be 2-1 for near enough the majority of the second half, and still come out without unscathed, without another goal conceding, and getting that victory is huge. So yeah, we'll go into a little bit of that for tonight, but yeah, huge victory by all accords. We're now sitting top of the table. So, it's big in that regard, but that win will do a lot from the belief and the confidence in the players now, actually even more so doubling down in the Allegri hardworking ethos. So yeah, look, the game started. Retracing the steps back of the live stream, I just finished recording. The game started pretty even, but under quick succession. We break the duck of scoring with Salamakers scoring. So what ends up being a very good passage of play by Pulisic down the left side, transitioning the ball forward and taking on Marianucci, ends up essentially taking him on again and beating him to it, playing through to from the left side of the penalty area, and plays through this delicious ball to Salamakers, who has the simplest of tappings. It's all Pulisic in that goal, in my opinion. He just does really well to isolate the weakness in that Napoli side, i.e. in the centre-backs. Marianucci could have easily been Juan Jesus as well. Picked on that and was able to carve open that space, very much similar to what Leao has done in the past season. So incredible work by Pulisic, and Salamakers, who gets his first goal of the season, and gets his plaudits as well. The half then continues with Napoli eating a bit more into the possession front, and close to the 30th minute mark, we essentially get the second goal. Another one where it was a bit of a surprise of how it started from a creative element. Pavlovic bursting through that left side like a rhino without the brakes. And he's done it a few times now that the defenders are like, what the hell am I supposed to do? Do I go track him? Or he's clearly not the threat, but he's driving the ball forward. And with that, he drove into that space, played the ball in. Fofana, who had a decent shot before that point, and smothered it above the bar from a counter attack where he could have laid it off to Santi Jimenez. He then goes for the right pass to an oncoming Pulisic, whose shot gets deflected off, I think, Di Lorenzo or maybe Marianucci, where essentially goes in the back of the net. But really well done by Pavlovic and Fofana in this goal, who do a lot from a creativity perspective to see the pass instead of the shot for Fofana, and then for Pavlovic as well to charge into that space and create chaos is phenomenal. And Pulisic gets another goal. I think 6 goals in 7 games this season. He's just incredible form. And then the rest of the half, the first half, kind of fizzled out really as Napoli trying to kind of get that goal back into the game. I remember Anguissa had a decent header from a Politano cross off the right side, which went well wide, but probably should have been a goal-bound header. Second half comes to life. No subs made, not expecting anything. And then not too long as the second half starts, obviously a big moment of the game where I need to remember who put the cross in. I think it was Politano puts the cross in to McTominay and Anguissa, who both of them near enough kind of get towards the header. Ball then goes across to the opposite side of the goal face where Estepinian pulls down Di Lorenzo. where it's initially a penalty straight away, Stonewall penalty. I'm not gonna argue against that, and a yellow card, which then gets upgraded to a red card. So very much as I was calling out for that right decision midweek against Lecce, went against us. The upgraded red card for Estepinian. We're down to 10 men, and Napoli, of course, have a penalty, which De Bruyne converts very, very cleanly. Mike was nowhere near it. Obviously, he goes down the other way. And Napoli are back in this game, which I think like near enough approaching 60th minute. It's looking dangerous, and I kind of said like we're fucked, because how we're going to see this out is because we certainly weren't going to score. How we're going to see it out was another question. Instantaneously, the subs made for Pulisic to come off, which was a real shame for fans, because obviously we wanted to see Pulisic stay on the pitch. But Allegri opted for Santiago Jimenez to stay on instead. So Baltasari comes on the left side in place of Pulisic, and to replace, in place of Pulisic, but to replace the space that has been left by Estepunian's red card. And then really the rest of that half, other than some subs coming on, Leao comes on for a decent chunk of the game, maybe like 20 something minutes. Coney De Winter comes on, Adekame comes on, and I'm trying to think who the other player that came on. Loftus-Cheek came off for Fano as well. So all subs that we expected. I wasn't expecting Leao to come on, but maybe it was because of the height instead of Nkunku, where he thought with the long balls that Leao could, at least try to do something compared to Nkunku, which did kind of make sense. And then we weren't creating anything, because it was very much shut down shop. Just get this sweaty win. Just I'm trying to think the phrase that they call it. Shithousery, that's it called. Get the shithousery win and just see it out. And as the time was ticking, and as every little minute and 5 minutes progressed, we were kind of believing more into seeing it out. But it didn't come without the threats, because David Neres gets a very good effort, which Modric headers quite late into the game, headers and hits to the other side of the post. But there were many moments like that, the ball getting very close to getting into the box. But this was where it was really incredible to see that we kind of held our nerve. We obviously tried to mark as much of the crossing threats as possible, and trying to close it out. But it almost came to a point where we were like, you know what, we're comfortable with the crosses coming in because we have the bodies. And if we have to header it and reset again, then we will do it. And it was intelligent play. And there were some bits where, Pavlovic wins a free kick quite late. Just other little bits of possession where we just won the ball back and gave ourselves that breather. Very intelligent play. So the one thing I think I came away and I felt, and I went into this game and I thought, what's Conte going to do with the subs? Because he's got Sporting midweek, and is he going to play? He's got his starting five up front. Is he going to play them the 90, or is he going to use the subs? And he did use the subs. And not to say that, David Neres did a few things, but Politano, in my opinion, was more threatening with his crosses. Noah Lang did nothing compared to what McTominay was doing. Luca as well did nothing. Obviously, Højlund had a pretty poor game as well, but it's almost as if he couldn't rely on the depth there, which went into our favour. He had to think about midweek. So we had to take off De Bruyne, he had to take off McTominay, he had to take off Højlund. That worked into our favour. And then all of a sudden, those threats were null and void from them potentially coming back into the game and scoring. So look, I mean, by all means, this is an incredible Allegri victory, and this is a team victory. If anything, there were some standout players. Obviously, Salamakers gets his first goal of the season. Pulisic was phenomenal before he had to come off. Modric was just iconic in midfield, just everywhere. I'd have to probably give him man of the match because he got the 90. But obviously, Pulisic, I think, would be from a stats perspective my man of the match. But Modric was phenomenal. Mike was very good and solid as well. The defense was really solid too, not too shaky. There were some moments in the first half. Estepinian even had a decent game before the red card. So I kind of feel harsh to give him like flop of the match, but he got red cards, so you kind of feel like you have to. But it was a team effort. The shape was there. The work rate was there. And I see a team that believes in this. They believe in that they can win the league. And it gives us a lot of excitement going into the game next weekend against Juventus with Leao coming back. Obviously, Jashadi, I think, is not too far away from full squad training too. It's getting really exciting now what this team can do. And to beggars belief now, they're all saying it was all okay. Milan have beaten Bologna, they've beaten Udinese, they've beaten Lecce. Those are sides that I'm not going to be impressed about. What now? Are you not impressed now that we've now beaten Napoli, where we've struggled against big sides last season? Let alone the fact, yes, it was very convincing in that first half. I have to say, we weren't threatened that much, and we looked damn like we deserved to be in front. And then in the second half, to go a goal down and to still come out with a victory, it gives you exactly what you need to know about this Milan side. They are resilient. They will take advantages of the weaknesses in front of them from the other side. And the shape there with Allegri is fantastic when it comes to understanding where the threat is and understanding to what battles to win and what battles to not even have to fight for. So I was really impressed by this victory. It won't be one that I think the history books will say, okay, what an amazing victory for Milan. But this was a win I think will stand the test of time for this season, personally, because it changes the dynamic of now looking at Milan as a potential outlier for a Scudetto contender. So, look, really happy with tonight's results, guys. I really hope you enjoyed the watch along if you're able to join us and you're enjoying these post-match reactions. And yeah, we'll catch you guys next time. But until then, 3 points, top of the table, Forza Milan.